a small bird that can make even a rattlesnake think twice. Have you ever heard of that? But how can a creature that seems so outmatched turn the tables and overpower such a dangerous predator? Let us take a closer look at that life-or-death showdown right now. The greater roadrunner is a bird in the cuckoo family. But unlike the familiar image of many birds living in trees, the greater roadrunner spends most of its time moving and hunting on the ground. It is found mainly in the southwestern United States and Mexico, where the climate is hot and dry, with many deserts, shrubs, dry grasslands, and semi-desert regions. The most outstanding feature of the greater roadrunner is its ability to run extremely fast. With long, strong legs, a slim body, and a long tail that helps it keep balance, it can dash across dry land, rocky ground, and low bushes at speeds of more than 19 miles per hour, or about 30 kilometers per hour. Although it has wings, this bird does not fly very often. Instead, it usually chooses to run when hunting prey or escaping danger. In the wild, the greater roadrunner is a flexible predator. Its diet includes insects, scorpions, lizards, small mice, young birds, and even snakes. The greater roadrunner is not a predator that relies on overwhelming strength. But in the desert environment, where food is not easy to find and every chance of survival is precious, it has to face prey that may be more dangerous than itself. Among them, snakes are one of the most noteworthy opponents. For many small animals, snakes are a threat to stay away from because of their flexible bodies, strong ability to hide, quick reactions, and venom in some species. But the greater roadrunner has the right advantages to reduce the effectiveness of those weapons, especially when it encounters small snakes, young snakes, or individuals that are already at a disadvantage. Besides that, snakes often do not have the upper hand in open spaces if they run into a faster and more agile opponent. The greater roadrunner is used to living in deserts, low shrubs, and open ground, so it can take great advantage of this environment when searching for prey. That makes it harder for some small snakes to rely completely on hiding or crawling away to stay safe. What is more, the greater roadrunner has good eyesight and often forages on the ground, so it can easily notice small movements among sand, rocks, bushes, or low vegetation. For snakes, staying hidden is an important advantage, but that advantage becomes weaker when they face a predator that is used to spotting prey at ground level. Because of that, small snakes are not always safe just because of camouflage or silence. At the same time, the greater roadrunner does not depend on just one type of food. It can eat many different kinds of insects and small reptiles. This flexibility is exactly what makes snakes a possible food option when the conditions are right. In other words, snakes are not always its main prey, but they are also not outside the greater roadrunner's hunting ability. However, the greater roadrunner does not overpower every kind of snake. Large snakes, strong snakes, or species with powerful venom are still very dangerous opponents. The level of risk depends on the snake's size, the maturity of the greater roadrunner, the terrain, the timing, and the health condition of each individual. So the greater roadrunner is most dangerous to small snakes, young snakes, or individuals that lack a defensive advantage. Snakes have good reason to be cautious around the greater roadrunner. This bird does not always win, but it can reverse the roles in the food chain. With speed, sharp eyesight, and strong adaptability, it can turn small snakes from predators into prey, which makes it a real threat to many small snake species in the deserts of North America. But snakes are only one part of the greater roadrunner's difficult survival story. Every day, it also faces other dangerous animals. Coyotes are one major threat. Although the greater roadrunner is fast and well adapted to life on the ground, coyotes are larger, have more endurance, and can prey on a wider range of animals. So even though the greater roadrunner can hunt dangerous prey like snakes, it still has to watch out for bigger predators. Hawks create danger from above. With a wide field of vision and sudden attacks, they are especially risky for a bird that spends most of its time on the ground and does not fly long distances well. In this situation, the greater roadrunner's best defense is to sprint into bushes, low plants, or covered areas. Raccoons can also be a threat, especially during the breeding season. They may not often attack adult greater roadrunners directly, but they can raid nests, eat eggs, or threaten chicks, so danger can come not only from the ground or the sky, but also from right around the nest. So during the breeding season, Danger comes not only from predators that hunt adult birds, but also from animals that search for nests and easy-to-reach food sources. This is why choosing a nesting site and protecting the young become an important part of the greater roadrunner's survival. There is also one very interesting point. Although scorpions and horned lizards are prey for the greater roadrunner, they are still very difficult to deal with. Scorpions have pincers and venom, while horned lizards have spiky bodies and many traits that help reduce the risk of being hunted. From enemies to prey, each one presents a different kind of danger for the greater roadrunner, forcing it to rely on speed, flexibility, sharp observation, and the ability to handle different situations. That is exactly what makes this bird so well adapted to the harsh desert environment. After risky encounters with rattlesnakes, hawks, or coyotes, it becomes clear that the greater roadrunner's life is not just about hunting on the ground. To keep its species going in such a hot, dry, and dangerous environment, it also has to overcome another challenge: breeding, nesting, and raising young in the middle of the desert. The breeding season of the greater roadrunner usually takes place in spring and summer, when the weather is more favorable and food is more abundant. This is the stage when pairs begin finding mates, defending their territory, and preparing a nesting site. The greater roadrunner often lives in long-term pairs, and during the breeding season, the male may bring food or nesting materials to attract the female. These behaviors help form the pair and also create the foundation for raising the next generation together. The greater roadrunner's nest is usually placed in a bush, cactus, or another location that provides a decent amount of cover. Both the male and the female take part in building the nest, using small twigs, grass, leaves, feathers, or soft materials to create a sturdy nest. In the desert environment, the nesting location is extremely important. It has to avoid intense sunlight, reduce the chance of being discovered by predators, and still be close enough to areas with food. After the nest is built, the female usually lays 2 to 6 eggs, and the incubation period normally lasts about 19 to 20 days. Both parents take part in incubating the eggs, although in many cases, the male may handle most of the incubation time. This is a stage that requires great caution because the eggs can easily become targets for snakes, raccoons, or other egg-eating animals. Just one small mistake around the nest can put the entire clutch in danger. When the chicks first hatch, they cannot live independently right away. Their eyes are still closed, their bodies are weak, and they still need their parents to keep them warm, protect them, and provide food. During the first few days, the parents constantly bring food back to the nest, from insects and small lizards to pieces of prey that are suitable for the chick's size. Having both parents care for them gives the chicks a better chance of survival in such a risky environment. After about 18 to 21 days, the young birds begin to leave the nest. However, leaving the nest does not mean they are fully independent. For some time after that, they still follow their parents, continue to be fed, and slowly learn how to find food. This is a very important stage because a young greater roadrunner has to learn how to run, hide, recognize danger, and handle small prey on the ground in order to survive. From those first lessons, it gradually develops the reflexes and flexibility it needs to live in the desert. Once mature, the greater roadrunner begins finding food on its own, defending its own living area, and looking for a mate to enter a new breeding cycle. The individuals that survive the weak and vulnerable early stage continue their role in the ecosystem, hunting insects, lizards, small mice, scorpions, and sometimes even snakes. That life cycle keeps repeating, from a tiny egg in a low bush to a quick, agile ground hunter in the middle of the desert. The greater roadrunner is a clear example of nature's incredible ability to survive. In the hot, dry desert, it relies on speed, reflexes, and precision to hunt prey, avoid danger, and even face rattlesnakes. From a small bird on the ground, the greater roadrunner has become a symbol of adaptation in harsh environments. Which ability of this bird impressed you the most? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel to keep exploring the world of wildlife.